Hopefully here. There we go.
There it is.
There we go. Awesome.
Sweet.
Welcome, everybody. Hey, as we start to come in here. Awesome. Let's see. We've got Andy, Andrea. Perfect. Cool. People starting to slowly get in here. Fantastic. Great to see everybody. Glad you guys could join. Jericho, how are you doing today, man? You said you've got a little bit of a busy day going on right now.
Super busy day. Got calls up until 9 p.m. today.
Yeah, that's nuts. And is that your Pacific time too, right? Like you got 7 more hours?
Yeah, 7 more hours, man. Just starting the day.
There you go, man. Nice. Yeah. Well, you're obviously awesome resource for this community. Like, love doing these with you. Appreciate you jumping on in the midst of doing that marathon, like coming and being a resource here and helping me out with the chat and making sure everybody here is as supported as possible. So really appreciate
Absolutely,
that, man. But
yeah, no problem. I mean, everybody seems like to be enjoying the challenge. People are taking action. Love to see it. Love to be able to help out.
Yeah.
Back to the community.
For sure. Yeah, that's what our whole goal with this, these 30 days is giving you guys that playbook, breaking it down on exactly what to be doing and just helping you not have to reinvent the wheel. We've seen over 10,000 people land deals using this exact playbook. On the Deal Machine side, if you're joining for the very first time, welcome. I'm Matt Camp over here at Deal Machine. We're proud to say we're the highest rated, most reviewed app out there for investors to find off market deals. And, that's where those 10,000 deals are coming from, is from pulling people who we've seen, land these deals over and over and over. I know we mentioned we give you guys resources and free trial and discounts for yearly stuff and all kinds of cool stuff that I'll share throughout this too. But regardless, we've had people do this by hand. We've had people do this using Deal Machine. Like, we're giving you technology to make it easier, more efficient, more effective. But we're, outside of that, like the playbook itself and the knowledge of exactly what to be doing, we want to hand over to you guys, get you guys fired up and help give you homework each week to hold you accountable for going from starting at zero to getting out of this challenge with either a deal itself or you've got that foundation built, you've got the momentum built, and you are well on your way to one. So really excited about this. If you can jump in the chat and say hi, say where you're based out of, that's always great. Again, we've tried to help you guys continue to connect with each other, but obviously you have a really just supportive Discord community going on. I mean, I have been inspired, I will say, throughout this whole challenge to see you guys respond. I know this is a 30-day challenge, right? We're be able to say, hey, congratulations, we are halfway there. We're on day 15 right now. That is in and of itself, the fact that you guys are jumping in, you're staying engaged, you're doing the homework, you're following through, like that's a small win and an accomplishment. And all these small wins can add up to big wins. So love to see the people who are getting involved here. I know in the Discord as well, we've had a really good response, which I wanted to share. My inbox has been flooded with people doing the homework, following through. Here's a few examples. Jericho, I know you said on the Discord there were a couple questions that you've seen come up a few times. Can I answer those for people really quick here, just to make sure?
Yeah, one of them. Absolutely. Yeah. So one of the questions we had were how to skip trace in bulk. I know that in the Deal Machine side, as far as like on your computer, you can kind of just hover over it. But if you want to cover it here and kind of just show everybody what that looks like.
Yeah, really quick here.
Help everybody else out.
I don't mean to deviate off the agenda, but I want to make sure that you guys can, get all your questions answered. Property and hitting skip trace, that would be 25, at a time to skip trace, or I could hit select all right here, and I could skip trace literally, 15,000 leads right there, where I just select them, go to lead actions on the right hand side, and then hit skip trace. And, it'll give you here. Let me show you an example. When I select 25 and I hit skip trace, it'll give you a little warning saying, hey, it's going to be $3. Make sure to know that that's what it's going to cost you. And then you can skip trace those leads and it'll get going for you. So just want to make sure you guys were, supported there in terms of answering your questions there. Any other ones that are, I should start off with, Jericho, or?
We're pretty good, man. I mean, I feel like we've covered a lot already. And for anybody that's missed the last two sessions that we've already done, you guys are missing out. Check those out. It's
Yeah.
on our YouTube channel as well. And if you guys
Awesome.
need access to it, it's also going to be in our Discord as well.
Nice. I need to get that YouTube link too. We could try to share you guys out a little bit there too.
Gotcha.
But
Perfect.
yeah, I know today we're going to be going through a little bit of recap too. We're going to be going through and doing a giveaway. So get excited for that. If you finish the homework, if you're one of the people on here that I'm showing off, or I got a bunch of other submissions there. Great job, great work. Again, we're halfway through this thing. Congratulations. Keep pushing. You've got this. We're going to assign homework again today after we go through the recap of week 1 and 2. Which if you were on week 1 and 2, awesome, like great, keep committing. This is fantastic. You'll get a little bit of a refresher and you'll learn something new, I'm sure. Like we go through a lot of information, so you'll probably pick up some things. And now that if you're doing the homework, you'll be able to look back on it and see like, hey, yeah, I can tweak this, I can tweak that with my process, and just keep getting better at your craft here. And then secondly, outside of the homework itself, outside of the recap itself, we're going to actually go through a week 3 training, which this week it's all about working your pipeline. It's all about making sure that the leads don't fall through the cracks, that you always have that next step. You always know what to be doing next, that you systematize this stuff, that you really get a good structure behind what you're doing, and you treat it like a business from that standpoint. And then you can keep going from there. And when you do that first deal and you start talking to more and more people, or do that next deal, or maybe if you happen to be a more advanced investor, awesome. Like, this stuff is going to pay off in spades down the road because you are investing in yourself early. You're doing the right process now. And, as you scale, as you start to do more, hey, it's going to be, you're going to be very thankful that you kind of put in that work early to do that. So, today we're going to be digging into that. I know, again, awesome to see the response via email, awesome to see the response over Discord. Fantastic job. If you post your homework on the Discord, that's awesome too. Like that is a great way to hold yourself accountable, and it's a great way to just provide motivation for other people and have people see that and say, oh man, he or she got their homework done. I need to get out there too. I need to go do this. So we see having any kind of accountability buddies, having kind of accountability partners goes a really long way, and being able to share it, on Discord there too. Maybe for this week, if you finish your homework, if you share on there, I'll be proud of you. I'll be, it'll really help out the community and help keep people excited and keep pushing and keep doing this and keep following through. So, right now, again, want to touch on this. I know it's such an exciting time to be getting into real estate. I know we talked about this last call, but hey, this is the best wealth generating opportunity you've had in the last 10, 15 years. I mean, anytime that there is a downturn, a recession, a slowdown, whatever you want to call it, any kind of uncertainty like that, real estate investors are more valuable in that time, and wholesalers especially. We can come in, we offer certainty. That's what we are selling, is certainty there. And we are solving problems with that certainty. We are offering speed for people to move quickly. We are, who need to move quickly. We offer convenience for people who need to move as is and don't have the ability to fix a property or to clear out a property, or maybe they don't want to work with a realtor. There's a lot of different reasons why they work with care. You can offer cash. I mean, that's, in itself, a really, really valuable thing, for depending upon the situation your seller is in. So we're trying to find people who are actually motivated and really, this is the playbook to help you step up to action right now, get out there and be able to use what we're going through every single week, put that into practice and follow this playbook and, go do that first deal. So, that's our purpose with this challenge, is to solve the number one need that investors really encounter, is they just don't know how or where to find a good deal. That most would-be investors get caught up. And it is easy today. Like there's so much information out there. There's it's easy to get analysis paralysis, and be able to think that you need to know everything before you go out and take action. That's what we want to help you get over. We want to help you know that it's okay to say I don't know to a sense. It's okay to be able to not have every single answer, but the fact that you're leading and the fact that you're leading with doing this homework, you are setting yourself up for success. You're putting yourself in a great position to succeed long term because you're doing the work, the right actions. A lot of people we'll talk to, it's like they're like, hey, yeah, I'm getting into real estate, and then you ask, what what did you do today? Well, yeah, I went out and I read this book, or I did this, I learned about this thing, or I watched this webinar. Great, but like, what was the action that's going to get you to that first deal that you took today? What was the actual small step that you took? And that's what this is about, is we're giving you homework that's not even necessarily that small of a step. We're giving you, it's a little bit of a challenging homework. That's the whole point of a challenge, is to push you, right? But giving you that straightforward, simple process of how to build your list, how to market to that list today, how to follow through and follow up with that list. And then next week, we're going to really break down more of a deep dive on making offers and being really confident in those offers and, contracts and things. But especially for today, it's okay. Now that you're getting, filling your pipeline with leads, filling the top of your funnel, how do you continue to follow through and do that in a way that you never have a lead fall through the cracks, and you always, are able to continue to move the needle forward, or move the ball forward with all these leads. Are you hearing me okay, Jericho? I see Jorge, or George in the chat. And I was lagging a little bit. Hopefully I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing it on my side too. Looks like the camera seems a little bit distorted too, and sometimes it's cutting in and out.
Okay. Here, give me 1 second here. Hopefully I can fix that for you guys. Don't like that. Okay. Let me know. Changed a few things on my settings. Does that help at all? Am I any better? Do you know?
Looks like you're still cutting in and out right there.
Can you hear my audio even? Or
yeah, we can hear your audio, but sometimes it's cutting in and out. Type it in the chat if that's happening for you guys as well. At least I'm seeing it on my side.
Sorry, guys.
Hopefully you guys are seeing that as well.
I'm in a co-working space here, and hopefully my Wi-Fi is still doing well, but a little laggy there. Okay. Well, Jericho, stop me if it's like you guys can't understand me at all, and I'll try to just call in if I can, and maybe that'll be a better way to do it. I want to provide as much of a visual as I can too, but if you can't hear me, that's the bigger issue than seeing me here. You've seen me enough for the last couple. So.
All good. Yeah. All right. I'll just say, hey, real quick. What we'll do is we'll just pause whenever, but sounds like it's starting to pick back up. So hopefully hopefully it stays.
All right. Sorry, guys. Hopefully we're in the clear here. Our internet usually is pretty good, but it sounds like it's spotty right now. So, all right. So knowing all that, again, that was our goal with this challenge, is to give you that playbook. Our whole mission is to give you the power of real estate investing using technology. And, we've done it over 10,000 times with other investors. And that's where we're pulling this playbook today, is, giving you people like Ryan Haywood here, who he went through a 30-day challenge on day 17. So this week 3, he landed his first contract. He's done 72 deals in that first year. So that was in 2020 doing this. And he did over 400 deals using Deal Machine since then in the last 3 years. So it's people like this, he's the one we're pulling this playbook from as well. Cody Serzor over in, he's based out of San Diego, but investing in Milwaukee. I know Kong talks all the time about virtual driving and virtually investing. Like, this is what he's doing here. Cody's virtually wholesaling here, where he was living in San Diego, realized, hey, it's really competitive there. And then, said, hey, I'm from Milwaukee. That looks like a great market to be able to try to do this. Maybe I can do this virtually, and landed 2 deals in his next month and is doing 3 to 4 deals a month since then in Milwaukee. So what he's doing today, this is what we're pulling this playbook from for you guys. Matthew Weaver's another one who's doing it from across the entire world. He was from the U.S., was living in Saudi Arabia in October 2020. He started doing this, and he started doing deals virtually, and then actually even hired a driver to drive in person in the U.S. this way. Patrick Martin, he's another one who he didn't do it virtually, but he used this playbook to really change his life. And, he was sleeping in a truck trying to figure out what to do with his situation, found Deal Machine, found real estate investing, and found wholesaling. And in his first 10 months, he did 14 wholesale deals, made $150K in wholesale fees, and really has changed his life with this playbook. So such a cool story. Like, love to see people like this getting out there, taking action, being entrepreneurs, being able to get out there and put their life in their own hands this way. Through this challenge, if you missed the first 2 weeks, what we've been doing is every Wednesday, just like this, jumping on, giving you the playbook, helping you overcome challenges, helping answer questions, giving you homework for the week, giving you exactly what to be doing every single week. Other weekdays, I've been trying to send out emails most days here for you guys. So keep paying attention to that of, knowing like, hey, here's the giveaway, here's the homework, here's some pro tips on what to be doing. I know was really, really excited by the Kong's team and Jericho and everything, where they shared a link to some free contracts that we'll be able to share with you guys too. So really, really cool just being able to share out assets this way with you guys. So make sure to pay attention to your emails. On Fridays, we actually upped this amount. We were originally going to give away $2,500, but we've seen how many people have jumped in and really run with this. So we're giving away over $3,500 of free stuff now. So congratulations to you guys. This is going to be awesome to be able to give all this stuff away. But it is only to the people doing the homework. It's only to the people who are qualifying, who are taking action, who are actually following through on this stuff, who are, taking this seriously. So, every week we're going to be sending out emails still on those giveaways. I know last week we gave you guys homework. I'll go over in just a second, but we had a good handful of people submit that homework to me over email, send me a screenshot to show me that they accomplished that homework, and they, all are going to be in this giveaway, right now here too. So, for week 2, when we went through again, week 1 was go out and, build your list, go out and find 100 leads, 100 driving for dollars leads. And we know that number, if you get to that number, 100 leads, that you are highly likely to stick with this strategy, and you are building momentum, and you're highly likely to go out there and you're just disproportionately likely to go land a deal. Like once you hit that 100 number, that is a huge threshold, especially if you do it in your first week, to really get you going, get you out there and get you excited and building momentum. So week 1, we did that. We did a giveaway here. I think Brittany was the winner of that last time. So we hooked her up with a free year Deal Machine, a bunch of marketing credits, just give her, the full the toolkit that she needs to be able to do this way beyond, this individual challenge here. We also, I have to double check, Jericho. I know we had at least 4 of the 5, I believe, follow through on the week 2 homework, but we did give away 5 different people got a full month free of Deal Machine, so a 30-day free trial essentially. Want to give a little bit of a special something there to people for the ones that were following through on the homework in week 1. So we went through and did that. Jericho, let's make sure to check that afterwards too, that spreadsheet to make sure that we are keeping up with everybody, and then everybody that got that free month is following through and taking action on it. But we did that for everybody. That was an awesome week 1. Had so many people submit the homework. Week 2, again, every week it's going to get harder. It's going to be more of a challenge. It's going to take, it's going to be a bigger barrier. Last week was had to get to 200 leads. So we doubled that. Let's see. Credit for next month's bill. Hey, Mark. Yeah. Happy to help out. Mark there. Awesome that you got the 30-day. Yeah, if you're all set up there, cool. If not, then just email me direct and I can help you out there, man. Again, here's my email for everybody too. It's just Matt. If I can type this, Matt@dealmachine.com. Cool. Yeah, I was trying to remember what all we straightened out there, Mark. So if you're good to go, cool. But if not, just reach out over email. Happy to help out there. For week 2, again, with every week, it's getting more and more challenging. So we're going to have less and less people. So if you okay, cool. Glad it all worked out, Mark. Fantastic. As you go through this, since we're going to have less and less people, it becomes more and more challenging. If you complete the homework, you're in a really good chance, a really good spot to win one of these giveaways. Like it's going to be a higher odds, obviously, each week as we whittle down the people who are serious and taking action, getting out there and doing this stuff. So week 2 was build a list of 200 leads and then marketing outreach to your leads, which again, I'll review. We'll do a recap, a quick catch up for people, on the week 1 and week 2, what we taught people. And I'll do a quick crash course of that, kind of reinforce your learnings. If you went through that the first 2 weeks, we'll go fast today. I'll try to give some deeper pro tips too. So that way, you guys are really trying to pick up new stuff each time and trying to tweak your process and get better and better and better. And just take notes, a little bit today, but watch the replays of week 1 and week 2 if you want a real deep dive on each of these sections and take notes that way too. So that was week 2. Our giveaway winner. So out of everybody who did the homework, out of everybody who emailed me back, submitted this, we're giving away an $800 prize. Again, it's an entire year deal machine. It's a bunch of marketing credits. It's going to cover a lot of your marketing, which we talked about last week. And it's going to give you, again, a full year of all the tools that you need to go land that first deal and many after that. So week 2 giveaway winner, drum roll, please. Here we go, Jericho. It is Jared Soriano. So Jared, congratulations, man. Let me see. Are you on here? It looks like you are. Cool. If you can jump in the chat and say, say congratulations, say hello. Awesome job, man. Good job finishing that homework. Again, I know I can't remember what all you did for the marketing portion, but I know you did complete it. So maybe if you jump in the chat and say what you did for marketing too. There we go. Let's go. Awesome. Fantastic, man. Jump in the chat and say what you did on the marketing stuff too, if you don't mind. But I know you followed through, did an awesome job. The homework is due just before these lives, Ronaldo. So I would say up until an hour before the live, I guarantee we'll see it. If you're submitting at the last second, then I may not see it. But right before I come on these is when we do the random selection of one person to win it who did the homework. So make sure for this next week, again, finish up that homework before we go live on Wednesday here, and you'll qualify to be ready for the next live training, live drawings. So. There we go. Been calling and sent 50 postcards as follow-ups too. Yeah, that was the goal here. Is to, again, we'll go through the playbook today on like, hey, here's what you can be doing. Here's all your options. And especially if you're going to use Deal Machine, here are a lot of your options. But, Jared, congratulations, man. Love to see that. So I think that's all before I get into the recap. Is there, Jericho, anything that I missed or anything you want to add in terms of, what you thought of the first half of this challenge so far, man?
No, all good for me, man. I think we've covered a lot of great stuff. All good from my end.
Fantastic. I like it. So I'll go through these. I'll try to keep it pretty quick here on week 1 and week 2 live training. Again, week 3 is going to be how to follow through with these leads, how to really do it in a systematic way, how to pick out your highest priority leads, how to make sure that a lead never falls through the cracks, how you always can follow through with what you say you're going to do, because the follow-up is where the fortune is. Like that is what's going to separate you on the sales front. And really in any sales role you've ever had, like that follow-up, that's what separates the bad or even good salespeople from the great. Is the great ones are amazing at follow-up. And Marcos, yes, we do have a mobile app too. What I show off today is going to be the desktop version. But then everything you're doing there, you can do on mobile as well. I would say probably the best practice there is if you're going to drive around physically, you're not doing the virtual driving, but you're physically driving for dollars, use the mobile app. It'll lock on your location. You can drive around with it. And then as you add leads there, it'll instantly sync up with everything on your desktop too. And I would say add leads on mobile. And then on the desktop, what I talk about today, a lot of that, the elements of like CRM, customer relationship management, like a lot of that of what I talk about today, I would recommend doing that on the desktop. That's a little bit easier there. So if you have the ability to, if you have a phone and you have a laptop or desktop in some way, I recommend, using them in tandem that way if you can. So hopefully that helps out, Marcos. But cool. Yeah. Good questions, guys. So feel free to jump in the chat and ask questions. I'll try to keep up with them as we go here. Again, I'm going to throw a lot of information at you here in the next, 20 minutes, we'll call it, through the week 1, 2, 3 trainings here. Again, I'll send out the replay tomorrow for this. You can look back at the last 2 replays. I'll include that in the email too. But I think in general, like if you can, take notes today, but really use this as an opportunity to kind of tweak and hone your strategy. Like if you're getting out there and you're doing this stuff already, hopefully you can pick up on a couple pro tips here that could continue to improve what you're doing and help you get better and better. So with that being said, week 1, again, we really focused on building your list of motivated sellers. And, this whole challenge is focused on driving for dollars, right? You can do it in a couple different ways, which I'll show off. You can do it, in person or virtual or adding drivers or all kinds of stuff. So, I would say week 1, we really focused on that kind of foundational thing of building a really, really high quality list. The reason why we focus on driving for dollars, again, it's the number one way that newbies land their first deal. They're the most motivated sellers out there because they own a physically distressed property, a physically distressed asset that they either don't want to keep up with, aren't thinking about, aren't if it's vacant or absentee or what have you, or they can't keep up with it. They're not in a spot and they're in financial need, financial distress. So they're all those reasons are why you're going to find the most motivated sellers with that, with those rundown houses. Also, they're the least competitive leads too, because they are the lowest barrier leads, they're the highest barrier leads to build a list of. The low barrier leads, the ones that are really easy to get a hold of, are through lists that you can pull. You can get a list in a variety of different ways. That's all low-hanging fruit for other people. Like, it's low-hanging fruit for other investors. It doesn't take much time to go do that, especially if you're going to pull a list. Like, we even have a list builder inside Deal Machine. You can just pull a list really quick there, where you take that list and can market to it. And yeah, you can land deals that way, but it's going to typically take 4 to 5 times as many leads, which means 4 to 5 times as much time working those leads, which means 4 to 5 times as much marketing outreach, marketing budget to spend on those leads to get to a deal. Whereas, if you're driving around and you're finding properties that may not show up on that list with these filters, with this data, because you have earned it, you have gone out there, you've put some work into it, you put some sweat equity into it, that's going to get you a much, much better return on your investment. They're going to be way less competitive. You're going to find those diamonds in the rough by driving around and looking for these rundown houses. So that's the goal there, is, being able to get out and find the most motivated leads, the least competitive leads. The magic numbers we talked about, it was 100 leads. That was kind of week one, like I mentioned. 300 leads is really the great, I would say the end goal there. And you'll see with this challenge, that's what we're challenging you to get to, is those 300 leads. The reason why is, if we look at the data, on average, if you have 300 qualified leads, like rundown houses, and you're consistently marketing them at least 3 times, ideally more than that, within that first list, you should have your first deal. And that's on average. So if you're in a really competitive market, if you're in like a San Diego, a Seattle, something like that, it's going to be more leads, typically like a couple times more than that. If you're in a more rural market, it might be less than that. But on average across the US, that's what you're looking at. So know that number from a goal setting perspective. If you're going to use Deal Machine to build that number, to build that list of rundown houses that have, the tarp on the roof, the gutters falling off, the boarded up windows look vacant, if they are things that just really show it's out of date, like have those really old school metal awnings, or, an on ramp, or a window AC unit, stuff like that. Those are all really good signs too. Ryan, I'll give you your question here in just a minute. Thanks for asking questions in the chat here, guys. When you're looking for those houses, if you're going to use Deal Machine to help you out there, showing this off, if you jump into the Drive tab right here, and again, this is the desktop version, which, you have the mobile app and you have the desktop, and they sync up. When you jump in here, you can go, let me zoom in for you guys. You can go in here and you'll see all these black dots start to pop up right around you. Those are all properties, all around you. And, I can, adjust over to satellite view right here so you can see what they look like in real life. See all these black dots popping up around you. Those are all individual properties that you can then, be able to add to your list here. So as you're driving down the street, if I'm driving down Yancey Avenue right here, I look over, I see 2223. Cool. If it's a rundown house in real life, I just hit add lead. Awesome. You'll see.
Hey, Matt, looks like you're cutting in and out, man.
Shit, the app.
Let me see here.
It could be my computer having some issues then. So I'll try to stick to verbalizing this, a lot of this stuff then, instead of trying to show off too much in the app here. But going through this, as I mentioned, you got black dots all around you. That's the map itself. You've got blue pins. Those are your added leads. And again, the first and foremost thing you're looking for is physical distress. So you're looking for that rundown house. You're looking for that property that is not in good shape. And you click on it, add lead, move on to the next one. Now you can look a little bit deeper on the data. So, and my audio might lag here for a second, so pardon me. When you click on that, you can see data right here, like sale price, sale date, assessed value, some mortgage information, not on this one, but a lot of them. Bed baths, square footage, flood zone stuff, all kinds of different data right there, where you have literally thousands of data points you can dig into per property, where yes, first and foremost, you're looking for physical distress, but you can also dig deeper, find those properties that might qualify beyond that and might have some good data to look at, like, equity percentage and owner type and things like that in there. So, use that data to your advantage. I will mention a couple quick pro tips, and here, let me go back to standard view for you here. You'll see there's route tracking. So like every 6 months, it changes colors. When you drive around, you're going to see a little tail pop up behind you to show you the route and that you've driven. So that way you never have to double back on a route. You can look at the map, see where you're going, see where you've been. Again, at 6 months, it turns yellow, and at 12 months, it turns red. So over time, you'll be able to look at the map visually and see, hey, where have I driven? Where should I drive next? You can change your map mode here. So you can change this to tap to add mode. And that means that you don't have to do anything else except for just touch the property, and it'll add that lead automatically for you right there. So like this. So it looks just like that. Instead of having to look at, more, instead of having to click multiple times and look at more data. This highlights button, if you're on our pro level plan, is super, super powerful, where you click highlights and then you can choose from a ton of quick lists here. You've got, potential cash buyers, vacant properties, foreclosure statuses, absentee, assumable mortgage, expired listings, hot neighborhoods, all kinds of stuff to tap into. Or you can create your own highlight and get really, really broad or really, really specific. And if you get broad, that is a great way to select an area that is a good place to start driving. Like if you're trying to figure out, hey, where do I drive? Where do I drive in town? Use the highlights filter and look for older properties. So look for properties that have like a year built that's at least 30 years ago. Look for properties that have a little bit of value in them. So that way, that there's a little bit of meat on the bone to be able to wholesale that property. So greater than 100K, we'll call it. And then, hey, also this is, single family. So we'll do property type is single family here. Cool. And this will get you a very broad scope, and you'll see the whole, parts of the entire map start to light up. Or you can get really specific, hit apply highlights, and there you go. Or you can get really, really specific and say, hey, yeah, just show me all of, the vacant or show me all the absentee owned properties that have high equity. Absentee owner and equity is, we'll call, greater than 40%. We'll confirm that, and you'll see really individual houses start to show up. And you can get really targeted that way. So that way, as you're driving around, first and foremost, you're looking for physical distress. But if you have a highlighted house, that means, hey, that's a really, really good lead. It's a high priority lead because, it is run down, and on top of that, it fits the data that I'm looking for. So definitely recommend doing that if you're on a pro level membership or up. When you're doing this, when you're driving around, a couple things. When you add that lead, I recommend you taking a picture of that property. So here, I'm on pin mode still. Give me a second here, or tap to add mode. When you click on a lead, if I want to add that lead, when you do that in the mobile app, you'll see a tagging system come up. So you click on tags, and you can create your own custom tags as well, which I'll show you guys today as well. But when you create your custom tags, I highly recommend creating a few tags between high priority, between level of distress. So, hey, it's a really rundown house. It's the high priority lead. Cool. Awesome. I tagged that property, and I'll show you today why that matters. And then secondly, I also highly recommend adding a picture to that property. So if you were taking the time out where you actually take a photo of the house, which in the mobile app, it'll prompt you to do that. Take a photo of the house. That photo is what's going to show up on your mail pieces when you mail that property owner. So those two things I would say in terms of like when you add the lead, what do I, is there any pro tips to be doing? Take, add tags and add a photo. So I'd start there too. Really quick here as well. Last two things in the map from week 1. When you click on your profile, you can go to team and add drivers if you're on our pro level membership and up to. If you're a starter, it's just you out there doing this. But if you're on pro, you can add up to 2 more drivers. And you can see I've added Elliot right here. So I added him, made him a driver. You can change his access as well. But I made him a driver. And then now, anytime he goes out and drives, I can click on drives right here. I can filter by his routes. And I can see, hey, yeah, show me his exact route. My audio might cut out here. Hold on. Show me his exact route, where he drove, how many leads he added, how far he drove, all of that right there. So, this is a great way to be able to kind of team up with other people, add drivers, really manage what they're doing, and continue to just boost your list and hit those numbers, hit that magical 300 number there. And then final thing here, I know, let me go back to where I was. I know a lot of you, especially, Kong talks about this all the time, virtual driving for dollars. I know a lot of you really find virtual driving to be a powerful tool and, a strategy you're really interested in. If you click start driving up here, and this is on the mobile app as well, but on desktop, you hit start driving, click anywhere on the map, hit start driving, and it's going to import Google Maps right into Deal Machine for you. And you can see like at the bottom here, here's your map, right? I can look at properties this way, and I can do exactly what I was trying to do before. I can, essentially click for dollars here, where I'm driving down the street, looking at houses. I can see, hey, this photo was taken in February 2022 in the bottom right corner right there. I would recommend looking at clicking on that and looking at the last sale date. So this was sold last in 2014. This picture was taken 2022. Okay, cool. That's updated. It looks like we've got some issues going on with the siding right here. I would put this as slightly distressed, and this could be a good lead. The roof's got a few issues there too, it looks like. So hey, that could be one to work with. So I wouldn't get too picky on these leads, but again, when you add them, you also are going to have that tagging ability too. So you can kind of sort that, say slightly distressed, and move on to the next one. So that's what we're looking at here on the virtual side. So you have a couple of options to be able to build that list of leads, virtual, in person, or adding other drivers. And you'll see like, hey, here's the route that I drove to, just now, virtually drove, clicked around. So awesome. See, Ryan, you said I had, where are we here? I had problems with tracking my route. See the other properties. Ryan, if you can reach out to me direct, I can help you out there. Not properly tracking my route. We haven't really had that issue that I've seen, at least, but we definitely want to help out here, man. So email me direct, happy to help out. I know I can pull in our head of support directly, so that way you can be treated special there. And then I know the data, it's going to depend on the market, but no matter what, yes, the data matters, but what you're looking for first and foremost is the physical distress. So as long as you're finding rundown properties, that's the most important thing, and then the data can supplement that from there. So Jorge, I will show you the tagging, what to do with those tags today. So great question. Are there any options to change the highlight colors? Unfortunately, no, Ryan. I think it shows up a little better on the mobile app. It's a little bit darker on the mobile app, so hopefully that helps. But on the desktop here, especially when I'm zoomed out, it's maybe a little bit tough to see too. Let's see. Do you want to answer Jericho? Brenson said, if you find a house that's in pre-foreclosure auction and the date's set, but in the next couple of months, can we still get after that property?
Yeah, so with pre-foreclosure properties, as long as the bank hasn't taken ownership yet, you still can go after it. But the moment that the bank's taken ownership, it's very hard for us to do anything. It'll now go into auction, and you actually have to bring the cashier's check for the property for that. So it's a little bit harder for us to do. And typically, most banks have a clause in their in there that allows us to have to hold on to the property for a certain period where we can't resell it. So as long as the bank doesn't have it yet, you're good to go. And also, I wanted to just touch on this virtual drive topic as well too. Wanted to give you guys a little golden nugget.
Yeah.
Something that I've kind of figured out as well too. So, if you guys are virtually driving for dollars, one of the greatest things that I've figured out is something that I personally call reverse driving for dollars. So, if you guys are familiar with your county data, you can request that. That's typically public information. Sometimes you might have to pay like 50 cents to go and get that type of information, but I mean 50 cents for really good data, right? Updated data. But essentially what you do, and it might be called something different in your market, so you're gonna have to go and figure out what it's called, but at least in my market, it's called a overgrown vegetation code violation. And essentially what that means is that the grass or maybe bushes are just not maintained. There's specific code violations for distressed properties as well. Maybe if it's boarded up and nobody's just taking care of it. So when you go to request for data like that, look for those code violations, and guess what? The county's doing that job, doing that work for you already. Why not take advantage of it, right? So that's what I call reverse driving for dollars. You can go and grab the parcel ID, look at your tax assessor's page, wherever that is for you, and get that information. So just wanted to share that little gold nugget there for you guys.
Such a good tip. And then if you have a list of that too, I'll show you. So in week 2, we talked about marketing to your list. Now we talked about a 2-pronged approach, and one part of that, like, it depends on the list you're getting. Obviously, if they're vacant houses, you can't do this. But if you have a list that you got from an outside source, you also have the ability to import it into Deal Machine. And part of your marketing, you can do door knocking, you can do sticky notes, you can do door hangers. We make it really, really easy to give you GPS directions in the fastest route. It's called the planned route mode. And I'll show you this. You hit the button, drive this list in the app. I'll show you. But taking that approach, you can get the fastest way possible to go to every single property on your list there too. So going through week 2 here, I'll show off again, it's a 2-pronged approach. Like, what we want to do is our short-term marketing and our long-term marketing. Short-term marketing, we really identify as something that takes one-to-one direct outreach. That would be like calling, texting, typically emailing, typically door knocking, sticky notes, door hangers, that kind of stuff. I think also, people are going to respond differently to each type of method. Like, some people are going to respond to a text, some are going to respond to a call, some are going to respond to, direct mail. So doing a mix of them, the more different types of touch points you get, the greater your odds get of getting in touch with that person. So definitely recommend being able to mix in a couple if you can. Inside Deal Machine, how you can do that really quick here is if you go to the Leads tab right here, that will show you, when you click on a lead, you'll see 2 different options. You've got skip tracing and you've got start mail. The skip trace button right here, this is going to be a way to just quickly get information about that owner. So click on skip trace. It's going to ping our database and say, hey, here are, and you have an over 90% hit rate. Here you go on phone numbers coming back. So say, hey, you've got a phone number here. It'll tell you, is this do not call list? How likely is it to be connected? That's likely. That's very likely. Is it landline? Is it mobile? Is the caller ID? Is it, is it on the known litigators list? It gives you a lot of data to work with there. Gives you email addresses there to be able to reach out to and just quickly send an email, or again, copy the phone number and make a call right there. And, that's the goal is being able to make it just really easy, convenient, and simple for you to do this one-off or in bulk, like we showed at the beginning of this call, doing it in bulk where you click on the whole page or all your leads, go to lead actions, and then be able to skip trace those leads. So start there. I would say that's where you can call, text, email. I also recommend, again, the drive this list feature. Like, if you're going to have an outside list, you can go to add leads and import that list right here. And then say I imported, this particular list right here. So, however you got it outside of Deal Machine, you can then, if you're on our pro level membership, you get that drive this list button and click and drive this list. It'll say, hey, here's how long it's going to take you to drive these 79 properties, 4.5 hours, 79 properties. It's going to import GPS right into the app and give you turn by turn navigation to every single one of these houses and show you the fastest way possible to get to every single lead on your list. So I'd say in terms of short-term marketing, start there, do kind of a mix of those things. Long-term marketing means one-to-many marketing. So that's something you can set it and forget, something you can use technology to automate. And inside Deal Machine, what you can do right there is you can click on a lead, hit start mail, And again, remember you took a picture of that property possibly. If you did that, that's going to show up on the postcard right here. But that mailer is going to go out and you can adjust how often it's going to be sent. You can say, hey, I want to send one every 21 days. I want to send 6 pieces of mail total. Here's, if I put them on that campaign, here's when they're going to get them. Here's what those postcards are going to look like. You can go in here and change your templates, which we have like 9 or 10 default templates right there. And Ryan Haywood, the guy who did over 400 deals that I talked about at the beginning of this, like this is what he's using. He's using the default templates. So you can do all of that right there. Go in there and change those templates and choose which one you want. And then as you start to send more and more mail, you can actually go into the mail tab right here, mail center, and use this as a way to kind of manage that mail and know, okay, I have this many scheduled, I have this many sent. Here's how much money I've spent or I'm going to spend this month on mail. Here's how much I spent last month on mail. Here's, the status of them. Here's when they were delivered. It was printed and in transit and delivered. So it really gives you the full rundown on every single postcard you send and just make it really simple and easy to do this and make sure that everything you ever send out is fully optimized and that you're never spending a dime that isn't to a good lead, or you're really aware of your budgeting each month. So I will mention one last thing. The postcards, you can change the design of them as well. Like you can edit the design and be able to create your own postcards inside here and change the sizing, do ballpoint letters that look handwritten. Those are really, really awesome, more expensive, but a really high response rate to them. So I mess around with sending different types of designs and different types of postcard sizes and handwritten ones or not too. And, that's all going to set you up for success as well. Like, the more you vary it, the higher your odds of getting that call back. So, anything you think I missed on that week 2 kind of marketing portion, Jericho, before I get into the new stuff here for everybody?
No, it looks good, man.
Awesome.
All good for me.
Cool. So you've got that foundation. Again, building your list, marketing your list. Those are 2 extremely important things. Like you got to nail those. You got to get that down. You'll notice even with the homework this week, we're going to harp on those things and really hammer that home. Now, week 3, we're halfway here. We're starting to build a great list. We're starting to reach out to them. How do we stay top of mind? How do we make sure every single lead is taken care of? Every single seller we talk to is taken care of? How do we stay organized? How do we build a business around this? And how do we just make sure an opportunity never falls through the cracks? And the short answer to this is really getting great with a CRM, a customer relationship management software. We have a ton, we don't call ourselves a CRM necessarily, but we have a ton of features in Deal Machine that are essentially a lightweight CRM. We don't have the automation. You can't send like emails and stuff through Deal Machine, but you do have a ton of stuff that you can work with. And I'll get to the tagging there too. I mentioned that a few times. I'll get to the tagging there of like why that was important. And it's because of this step. And again, the fortunes and the follow-up, like, 80 to 90% of salespeople, that is where they are falling off, is through the follow-up. And really in when I say salespeople, I mean anyone that's having a conversation like this, who you're acting as that sales, biz dev rep essentially, through this business. Inside Deal Machine, using this to really help you stay organized and build systems around it. I can show that off here for you. Cool. Can you still hear me okay, Jericho? Perfect. Okay, cool. So going into Deal Machine, again, you want to use, I know I talked about this at the beginning, but you want to use the mobile app on the phone, and you want to, you want those leads to sync up on the desktop app. I would recommend driving around, adding them this way. And then when you get back from that drive, use your desktop if you have access to both of those. If you have a cell phone and a laptop, this is what you're going to use the laptop for. Is you're going to jump into the mobile or the desktop version here. And then from that point on, really use this as kind of your home base on how to act on these leads every single day. So if you're getting out there, if you're marketing those leads, use this as kind of your home base for combining all of your leads. Like if you have outside sources, if you have other lists, like Jericho talked about that other list you had. If you have other lists, import those leads here, hit add lead and import that list right into Deal Machine. So that way you have one place that is all forming. And the advantage of that is you'll never double up on marketing. You'll never double up on your time. You'll never lose track of notes on one conversation that didn't translate into another thing. You can export these leads too if you really want to. You can select them all, go to lead actions and export those leads if you want to use them outside of Deal Machine too. Like I know people have a whole tech stack a lot of times of different stuff they're using. But if you're inside here, having one place for all these leads so that way they always combine and don't have to overlap at all is just such a great way to stay organized. And they're automatically going to list stack, which, these zeros, it takes a little bit to appear inside Deal Machine, this number right here. But once you start adding leads in a variety of different ways, you'll see anytime that you have, say if I had 4043 Russell Boulevard and, I drove for dollars and I added it and I already had it in Deal Machine because I imported it from another list I had, it'll have a little number 2 right here showing. And when you click on it, it'll show you, hey, you did it. Here's the list you imported, it was on that list. And then also, by the way, it was on another list of you driving for dollars on, April 4th. So it'll show you right there. These leads I have in Deal Machine multiple times. I can't find any here, but the leads that you have inside Deal Machine multiple times, when you stack those motivations, it's scoring those leads in real time. And when you see higher numbers, that's a higher priority lead because it's appearing all over the place. It's appearing, for whatever motivation I pulled it from. Maybe you used List Builder in Deal Machine and you quickly built a list and you said, hey, show me high equity homes or show me vacant properties or show me whatever. And if it's got like a 4, right? And now it was on my high equity list. It was on my vacant property list. It was on my, my driving for dollars list. It was on this other list. That's an indicator that, hey, it's got multiple motivations here. It's more and more likely that it's a good lead. So look for those first. Look for those higher numbers and start there with what types of properties you're going to reach out to. If you're tagging those leads like we've been talking about, when you click on filters right here, filters are a really powerful way to be able to just organize your entire pipeline. So when you click on a filter, you can filter by lead status, who added that lead. I can see all of Elliot's leads. If I just want to do that, I can apply, hey, Elliot's added 142 leads. I can see that, let's see here. Yeah, he's added by Elliot right here. Here's the date he added it. It was him driving around. So, you can use it that way. But from a tagging perspective, when you hit filters and create a filter and go to tags, you can just say, hey, show me all my high priority leads. And when I confirm that, I know that these are ones that I should start with. These are ones I should reach out to immediately because I tagged as high priority for a reason. I'm going to come back to my desktop. I'm going to look at the ones that are high priority and I'm going to make 86 phone calls right away, and text messages to these people that are high priority for me. So, again, you can import and export the leads, list stack, filter the leads that way, and then start taking action on them that way. You can, again, take bulk actions by clicking this, I've got all 86 leads. If I want to send mail to all of them, if I want to skip trace all of them, I can make that really simple and easy right inside there. So you can do bulk actions that way. And then as you go through and have conversations, a typical CRM, if anyone's used to one, you have a lead status. You've got a little pipeline to work with. You can go in here and click on the lead status and say, yeah, hey, this one's got marketing, which if you're sending postcards to it, it'll automatically say with marketing here. If you've got an appointment set, if you have an offer, follow up, you can deal 1, deal lost. You can track all of that inside Deal Machine too, and kind of use this as your pipeline management tool that way. And be able to just kind of quickly, again, the whole point of that is to be able to filter out and say, hey, I'm going to filter by my leads that are in, that have marketing, confirm that. And I can see, hey, here are, let me apply it. Here are 17 leads that I currently have postcards going to that have marketing going out and, that fit my particular status. So these are all just important ways that as you start to have these one-on-one conversations, yes, one-on-one conversations are going to be easy to track, but the more that you have, the more you do, the more systems in place that you build this way, the more organized you stay. As you continue to do this and talk to more and more people, it's going to scale with you. It's going to be a process that you'll be very thankful for putting in now, rather than down the road when you're scrambling and you've got notes everywhere and leads everywhere. So we want to keep it really tight, really consistent, all in one place is kind of your go-to spot to do that. Jericho, do you have anything to add there? I had 2 other things I wanted to touch on how to really stay organized before jumping into the homework for everybody too.
No, man, just a quick question for myself, actually. I'm taking a look at the Deal Machine now. Are they by chance Like you can customize your own statuses on here. Is
Lead
there a way to
status.
do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
for the lead status.
the lead status, that would be, I believe it's only under our teams plan. Here, let me double check that for you guys. That's something that's, it's definitely a more advanced investor, feature. Like if you're a newbie, I wouldn't mess with that too much. But yeah, custom pipeline will be our advanced plan.
Okay,
You'd have to
but
get our, like,
they could
top
add
tier
tags.
pipeline.
They could add custom
You
tags
can,
in any plan, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
So
So
if you
yeah,
click
just
on,
a little tip
oh,
here from my end.
mhm.
Something a little bit more advanced for those of you guys that are, in that level to kind of help keep track of, since we're on the topic of organizing. What I do in my personal CRM, which is just data management, you guys can do it here on Deal Machine as well. So you guys can go ahead and add your own specific tags.
Mhm.
And this is just something that, let me know what you think about this too, Matt. And, I think this would really help kind of streamline where you're at. So let's just say we're calling, we're marketing Monday. And as we continue to market out, what we could do is we could actually add a custom tag that says A01. And all that means is attempt one. So maybe if you're doing cold calling, or maybe if you're doing SMS, you could do CC for cold calling A01. So that way you can kind of filter by, custom tags
Yep.
of, hey, who do we have that's currently been marketed to, and what attempt are we at as far as marketing to them?
Love that.
So I feel like that'll help out as well too. A little pro tip. That's what we do in my business.
Yeah.
A01.
A01.
So yeah, you can do CC A01, SMS A01, direct mail, DM, right? DM for A01.
Yep.
So yeah, little pro tip there from my end.
That's really cool. I love that idea. Yeah, I mean, I had called, that's a tag that we've used, but even better than that is, cold call after one attempt. And that way, every time you call them, you can just mark that, add that tag there. Let me see. I might have to refresh it for you guys. But whenever you cold call like that, you're going to be able to immediately say, hey, yeah, let me add that tag. And that way, I can track my full marketing to that lead. So give me a second here. View lead. Hopefully it loaded up here. Add tag. Yep, here you go. So after a call, I mark it cold call at attempt one. Awesome. And on to the next one. So that way, that's a great idea.
I love that.
Being able to track how often you reach out to people. So
this will also help you guys as well if you guys are, a little bit more advanced and you guys are, capitalizing on that. This will also give you some insights as far as, hey, how many marketing attempts did we have to make to this prospect in order to actually first reach them, right? Get in first contact. And so why is that important is because you can kind of just take that same process that you did and go about it with the rest of your prospects and kind of have an idea. This is what we call KPIs in our business to kind of help get a good gauge as far as, hey, how many market attempts do we have to make in order to make that first initial? And then how many phone calls after that do we need to make roughly on average? Because as you guys market out, you guys will get this data and you'll be able to, start easily predicting your business as far as revenue as well too.
Yeah, great tips. I would say, the tagging makes it easy to view that. I also highly recommend. So there's two other things we see the most successful investors doing to stay organized and to continue to follow through with leads. It's using notes and using tasks. So the notes, and both of these you'll find under activity right here. So when you click on a lead, click on view lead, right? You can go to, I already showed off, mail. This next week I'll show you comps. Investment tab just to track some stuff, track the numbers there. The activity tab, when you click on that, you can hit add, and then you've got notes and tasks. So anytime that you cold call, even, I would just click on that. I would add that note, say CC attempt one, say left voicemail, can do that, and then post a note. And that way, anytime I look in this lead, I can see where we're at in the process. When I actually do get a hold of Jessica right here, I can hit add note and say, hey, yeah, she's got, I've had a conversation. She's got 2 kids. She inherited the property. It's, she just wants to get rid of it. It's, whatever the situation is, you can track that personal stuff in there, can make sure you're always following through with what you say you're going to do, and build on every last conversation because you are staying very organized with those notes. And again, it's not going to be that hard when you start to have 1 or 2 conversations, but once you have, 10, 20, 100, like staying organized like this is absolutely crucial. So adding notes right inside the app is really, really important. And then, like I said, task management, that's the other one where you hit add and you do task. and say I had a conversation with Jessica and she said, yeah, cool. Let me, I need to have an appointment tomorrow. Cool. 2 p.m. tomorrow. I need to come by. Click on that due date, assign it to myself, create that task. And now every time I jump into Deal Machine, this task manager up here, I just click on this little button. I can see, hey, what do I have today? Cool. Let me filter it by my tasks. I can filter by completed tasks that I've done. And I see, okay, today I need to go on an appointment here. I complete that task and I move on to the next one. So use this as kind of your go-to way to just manage all your leads, keep them organized, take notes, tag them, filter by those tags, take action based on those filters. And then if you take action, continue to take notes and add tasks there of being able to follow through with people. And always do what you say you're going to do that way, because you can just jump in every day, look at my tasks and say, hey, here's what I've got left. Here's what I need to do today. Cool. Let me execute on that and keep moving forward. So, all right, Jericho, anything there before I get into the homework for you guys?
Yeah, it looks like George went ahead and had a quick question. Can you separate leads from the ones you've already reached out to and the ones you haven't reached out to yet?
Yeah, so they will automatically, if you're sending postcards, they'll automatically go to with marketing. And then if your postcard campaign is done and there's no more postcards going out, it'll be marked for marketing complete. You can also manually update that too and whatnot, so you can track it that way. Depends how much automation you want to use, right? And then after that, I would say also the tagging system that Jericho just walked through is a really, really good way to. I would keep adding tags of like cold call attempt 1, cold call attempt 2, and make sure I can just look at that lead and see, hey, if we reached out to them, yeah, we've cold called them once, and use it that way too. So hopefully that helps there.
Yeah, let me add that. Let me add into his question a little bit. Are you able to filter by tags, and then within tags, are you able to exclude certain tags as well? Because if that case, what you guys can do is you could exclude CCA01, exclude CCA01 all the way to whatever attempt you're going to, exclude everything.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? It means that for those records that show up, that means that they have not been marketed out to yet. So if that is something that this can do, that's a great way to go after it as well too.
So tags you can say is equal to or is not equal to. So if it's not equal
Perfect.
to CC1, cool, there you go. It'll filter that out, or it is equal to that, then it'll just show you the ones you've tagged as that. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is some really advanced stuff that you guys are, man, for those 24 people that's on this live right now, you guys have no idea how valuable that information is right there. The tagging feature on this, that just makes me love Deal Machine even more. That's awesome. So because it helps you guys stay organized too, and make sure that you guys aren't falling, nothing's falling through the cracks. And matter of fact, if you guys are in our academy, last night on our Tuesday Cold Call Roleplay, we actually covered the timeline of following up, and this goes hand in hand with that. So if you guys are in our academy, in our Zoom session last night, put this hand in hand. If you guys have both Deal Machine and what we covered last night, you guys will be flawless. You guys will be experts.
Love it.
Awesome.
I think in general too, like that truly is what's going to separate you from the good from the great, or even the bad from the good, is that follow through, right, and that staying organized and being able to like you said, make sure that you are using systems like this in place to be able to always know what you have next to execute on. So great stuff, guys. Let's see. How do I cancel a postcard? Ronaldo, if you email me directly, I can make sure that you have it canceled. But inside Deal Machine, if you go, to any particular, if you just go to the mail center too, you can do this here. But inside the mail center, you can go to scheduled, and if you go to that lead, you can then see it says mail sending. You can go in there and pause the mail in progress. So if I hit pause right there, it'll say, hey, this is paused. Hit resume to be able to restart it. So anytime you click on any individual lead, it has that pause button right there for you, and makes it easy to be able to see where you're at with that particular property. So click on that lead, and if it says, hey, this mail is paused, like this one, then you're good. It won't go out. All right. Great stuff, guys. Good questions. Yeah, no problem, Ronaldo. So week 3, you might have caught on. We've got a little bit of a theme here. We're trying to get you to that 300 number. That's the magic number. of getting out there to go find that first deal. So week 3, whether you're doing our tap to ad mode, flying down going down the street, and you've got an entire area that's run, you've got a lot of rundown properties right by you. Awesome. You can knock out a bunch right there. But whether you're doing that, whether you're clicking virtual for driving for dollars, even at night while you're watching a show on Netflix, you're able to just, click for dollars that way too, build your list that way. Whether you're adding drivers and they're driving with you, or you're just doing it yourself and you're getting out there and you're putting in the work. Our goal this week is to get to that 300 number. This is the last time we're going to be adding leads. Next week is going to be really continuing to work those leads. But we want to get you to that 300 number that we want to push through and fight to be able to get to that, build that list that no one else has. And then just like you did in week 2, it's start to market to those leads too. It would be, you can send postcards, you can, call, you can text, you can door knock, whatever you need to do to start getting in front of people, emails, all that. Start to reach out to those people. Do at least, one form of marketing to your list like this. And, you're setting yourself up for success. You're hitting that 300 number. You're doing a creative marketing mix. You're putting out enough marketing to get you to that number. It's a numbers game in the end. So we want to help you continue to hold yourself accountable, help you continue to do this. And, one person that does this, they're going to win that giveaway too. So, the less people the further along we get, the less people that will be able to finish these harder tasks, right? So if you get out there, you knock this out, you're giving yourself a really good chance to win an entire year of technology to be able to go land this deal and land many deals after it. And you'll have the list to do it too. You're already doing it, the right way. And, you've got the training, you've got the playbook. So it's just a matter of getting out there and making it happen. So I'll share it one more time. I know we've shared this throughout the challenge, but if you're going to do our 7-day free trial, make sure to go to dealmachine.com/WTM to do that. I'll put that up inside Webinar Jam for you guys here. Let me find this. Cool. Awesome. So you can, if you click on that, that'll be the 7-day free trial. You also get $40 inside the app. So you get a ton of free skip traces, postcards, all that stuff provided for you as part of this challenge. If you're going to do this beyond just a couple months and you're like, hey, yeah, I want to fully commit to this, this is going to be the best way to do that versus our website. You're going to almost half off, where you get a full year Deal Machine Pro. You get all the stuff we showed off today. You get 3 users. You get the drive this list feature. You get the highlights feature, all that stuff. You get List Builder too. So again, that's great for the list stacking that we talked about today. You can pull a list and stack those motivations. You get that included. You get all the free marketing dollars that, that $40 free there. And all that total typically would be over $1,800. That's going to be $990. So I wanted to give you guys that opportunity too. And I'll put that offer up. Let's see, on Webinar Jam 2 for you guys. Hit start offer. There we go. Fantastic. So you've got that here for this challenge. I'll leave this up too, help make it easy for you to just scan this, and, that'll take you right to the right links. But otherwise, happy deal finding, guys. Like we are, we're excited to be able to continue to march through this. You're halfway through the challenge. It's inspiring to see how many of you completed that last homework and are getting involved in the Discord and everything. But let's get you that first deal. I love the people who are investing in themselves. They're here. They're spending time on a Wednesday afternoon with us. And again, we're going to do 2 more live trainings. The next time it's going to be really focused on making offers and comping and contracts and that kind of stuff. So we'll do a deep dive there. But now you know how to build your list, how to market that list, and how to follow through that list and your entire list like a boss. So good stuff, guys. And I'm happy to stick around for just a few more minutes here. And if there's any other questions, I can help you guys out.
One more thing I want to add to that, you guys, as well too, is I know we have 2 more weeks left, right? 1 more week left. And so what we're going to do for these next 2 giveaways is we're going to add an extra bonus on our end on top of that as well. So if you guys are not part of the academy, we might have something special for you as well. So go ahead and put in the work here for these next couple of weeks. And if you guys are in the academy, we'll also have something special for you as well, if you guys end up winning that. But just wanted to add that, and happy deal finding.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. I don't see any other questions. We did a pretty good job of answering those as we went. So thanks for sticking around long, guys. Yeah, Jericho, I know you're busy. I know you've got Got quite a few more of these. So, I appreciate you being on here. But
no worries.
All right. Well, happy deal finding. Get after it this week. Go get that homework. Get to that magic 300 number. Start to market those leads. Again, pay attention to your email. I'll email out the giveaway info there. I'll email out the replay. I see one question. Is the $990 year deal? Yeah, so it's $990 for the year, but you're instead of just getting pro, you get the additional marketing credits and you get the list builder as well. So you get a bunch of free stuff, which in total that all together would be like $1,800 or over $1,800. So if you're going to go with the year deal, make sure to go through me. And Crit, I appreciate you communicating over email. I know you were one of the guys who got the free month of Deal Machine, so that might have been the mix-up of like trying to get you all coordinated here. So go use that free month, and then happy to hook you up with any of the deals here too. So great stuff, everybody. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Thanks, Jericho.
Thanks, guys.